Chris Hemsworth, known for his powerful roles in blockbuster films, has always prioritized his family above the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. He shares a beautiful life with his wife, Elsa Pataky, and their 3 children, a daughter named India Rose who is now a teenager and twin sons Sasha and Tristan who are entering their preteen years. This family unit forms the core of his world, and every major decision he makes revolves around ensuring their happiness, security, and well-being. One such pivotal choice was relocating the entire family from the bustling, high-pressure environment of Los Angeles to the serene, nature-filled landscapes of Byron Bay in Australia. This move, which Hemsworth describes as the greatest decision he has ever made, was not taken lightly but stemmed from a deep desire to create a nurturing environment for his loved ones, away from the relentless demands of celebrity life. The timing of this relocation was particularly significant, as it coincided with a transformative period in Hemsworth's personal life. It was around the time when his twin boys were born, a moment that brought immense joy but also prompted a re-evaluation of their living situation. Settled in Los Angeles at the time, the family found themselves increasingly dissatisfied with the city's vibe. Los Angeles, often seen as the epicenter of the entertainment industry, can be overwhelming with its constant hustle, traffic, and superficial interactions. For Hemsworth and Pataky, it simply wasn't the place where they felt at ease or could truly thrive as a family. The actor reflected on how their setup in LA just didn't align with their values or daily needs. It wasn't a place that fostered the kind of relaxed, grounded lifestyle they craved. Instead, it felt constricting, like a space that amplified stress rather than alleviating it. Adding to this discomfort was the nature of Hemsworth's professional commitments. As a star in major franchises like the Avengers series, his work often required him to travel extensively. Films weren't primarily shooting in Los Angeles. Instead, productions took him to various locations around the globe. This meant that even when he was based in LA, he was frequently away, leaving the family to navigate the city without him. The irony was palpable. They had chosen LA thinking it would be a hub for his career, but in reality, it became a temporary stopover rather than a true home. Hemsworth noted how nothing substantial was filming there for him, and the constant back-and-forth travel only heightened their sense of disconnection. It was as if the city was more of a logistical base than a sanctuary, and this realization pushed them to seek something more permanent and fulfilling elsewhere. Privacy emerged as another critical factor in their decision-making process. In Los Angeles, the family was constantly under the scrutiny of paparazzi, those relentless photographers who shadow celebrities in hopes of capturing candid moments for tabloids. Hemsworth described the intrusive nature of this attention, where returning home after a long day or trip meant dealing with cameras lurking outside their property. The trappings of living in such a high-profile space included not just the paparazzi but also the overall culture of surveillance and lack of personal space. For a family with young children, this was particularly concerning. Parents want to shield their kids from unnecessary exposure, allowing them to grow up with a sense of normalcy rather than feeling like they're always on display. The couple worried about how this environment might affect their children's development, potentially robbing them of innocent, carefree experiences. It was these cumulative pressures, the dissatisfaction with urban life, the demanding work schedule, and the invasion of privacy, that ultimately convinced them to make a bold change. Over a decade ago, they packed up their lives and headed to Byron Bay, a coastal town in Australia known for its stunning beaches, lush hinterlands, and laid-back atmosphere. This shift marked the beginning of a more peaceful chapter for the Hemsworth-Pataky family. Byron Bay offered everything that LA lacked: open spaces, natural beauty, and a community that values simplicity over stardom. Hemsworth has often spoken about how this new setting has transformed their daily routines. Now, when he returns from work, it doesn't feel like just coming back to a house. It feels like arriving at a holiday destination. The sense of relief and joy is immediate, as if the stresses of the outside world melt away upon crossing the threshold. Their home is set on a large farm, complete with horses that the family can ride, motorbikes for adventurous outings, and proximity to the surf where they can enjoy ocean activities. This environment encourages outdoor exploration and physical activity, aligning perfectly with Hemsworth's own active lifestyle and his desire to instill similar values in his children. The farm life in Byron Bay provides ample opportunities for the kids to engage with nature in ways that urban living simply couldn't match. India Rose, Sasha, and Tristan have the freedom to roam, play, and discover without the constraints of city boundaries. Hemsworth envisions this as a way to give them a childhood filled with adventure, much like his own. Growing up in Australia himself, alongside his brothers Luke and Liam, who are also actors, shaped his perspective on what constitutes an ideal upbringing. Their family home was located about 20 minutes from the main suburban areas of Melbourne, nestled up in the hills where nature dominated the landscape. The nearest neighbor was a kilometer or two away, creating a sense of isolation that fostered independence and creativity. Surrounded by bushland and rainforest, the Hemsworth brothers spent their days immersed in the outdoors, embarking on adventures that sparked their imaginations. Hemsworth fondly recalls how this setting allowed them to play different characters, inventing stories and roles in the vast natural playground around them. It was a time of unrestricted freedom, where the only limits were those set by their own creativity. Trees became fortresses, streams turned into rivers to cross, and the underbrush hid secret worlds waiting to be explored. This kind of upbringing built resilience, resourcefulness, and a deep appreciation for the environment, qualities that Hemsworth wants to pass on to his own children. By moving to Byron Bay, he's essentially recreating that magical childhood for India, Sasha, and Tristan. The farm's expansive grounds mirror the hills of his youth, offering similar opportunities for unstructured play. Horses provide not just recreation but also lessons in responsibility, as the kids learn to care for animals. Motorbikes add an element of thrill, teaching balance and caution in a controlled setting. And the nearby surf introduces them to the ocean's rhythms, promoting physical fitness and a connection to Australia's coastal heritage. This relocation has also strengthened the family's bonds.